Hey beautiful people, what's up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Gabby and today I'm going to invite you guys back into my kitchen. Today it's actually nighttime to be honest, and I am feeling festive in the Christmas spirit with my Christmas dress on. But today me and my husband needed dinner, and so I was thinking we can make pizza. It's a Friday night. It's so cold outside. I hope you guys are staying warm wherever you are, but it's really cold outside. And so I was like, why not just whip up a pizza? And so we're gonna make pizza from scratch today. I found a recipe for a Brussels caramelized onion pizza, and I'm going to tweak the recipe a little bit, and I'm going to add some mild Italian sausage to it, and I'm also going to attempt to make a gluten-free crust. What could go wrong? I don't know, a lot could, but we're gonna try it. I have all the ingredients for a regular crust as well, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna just attempt to make a gluten-free crust. So let's go ahead and get started. I didn't print off this recipe because I was doubting myself on if I wanted to do it or not. So I will link the recipe down below. What I will say for this gluten-free crust, I am using the steps that are noted in the note section because I want a chewier crust. So to my bowl here, right here, I have gluten-free flour. The flour that I am using is the Bob Red Mills gluten-free 1-to-1 flour, supposed to bake up perfectly just like regular all-purpose flour. So we're going to use that. So I have, what do I have in here? I have 385 grams of the gluten-free flour, which is 2 3/4 cups. I also have some tapioca starch in here, about 1/4 of a cup. And do I have salt? I don't have salt in here, so I need to get some salt. So we're gonna go ahead and put this in our mixer. Everything's weighed out perfectly off camera, so you're gonna put that in there. And let me get some salt because we're also going to, I think we're gonna need salt. Oh, and I did do xanthan gum as well. It did say to omit the xanthan gum if it's already in the flour, but I did add an extra, I did go ahead and add a teaspoon of xanthan gum just because I do want to make sure this is a chewier brown crust. Give or take, we'll see how this goes. So let's see. All right, and so to this, I'm also going to add our yeast and I'm going to add our sugar. So we need instant yeast, a tablespoon of instant yeast. However, I do not have a tablespoon of instant yeast. I have active yeast. So I wish I had the instant, hold on, I may have instant yeast. I don't have the instant yeast, so we're going to use, hopefully we just need to let it rise just a little bit longer with our active yeast. So it says you need 9 grams. So 1 pack is 7 grams, so I'm gonna need a little bit of a second pack as well. Hey babe.
Pizza dough?
Yes.
Okay.
So pizza dough with a twist.
Oh, twist.
Yeah.
Onion twist?
A crust twist.
Stuffed crust.
I don't know, you have to wait and see.
Okay,
Alright. We need a tablespoon of yeast, so I'm gonna go ahead and measure this out. I hate to, do you guys think it would be a problem if I mix these? So I have an active, and then I have an instant packet that is already open, and I don't want to open up another, let's just do it. Let's just see what happens. Maybe this little extra of instant yeast. I mean, oh, decisions. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna. All right, a tablespoon of our active dry yeast goes in. And then we're also going to do 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. I actually need to refill my sugar, my big sugar container. Actually bought some sugar today. So before I put this back up, we're going to refill it. All right, so our sugar goes in and we're gonna go ahead and give this a good mix. All of our dry ingredients are in there and we're just gonna mix it. Make sure it's all well incorporated. And I kind of read this recipe before I started, so I kind of know what's going to happen. Well, I should know that it's just gonna come out right. I don't know. According to the recipe, people were having success. Some people were having success and some people weren't, so we'll see. And then we need 1.5 teaspoons of salt. All right, mix this in there now. We're gonna put this on our stand mixer. We're gonna add our wet ingredients. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, this is gonna make some dough for us. I do have some water in the microwave getting warm so that we can have that ready. All right, so while my water is warming, we're going to add 4.5 tablespoons of olive oil to our mixture. This is not open all the way. One, 2, 3, 4.5. Four and a half tablespoons, and we're gonna add our water. It should officially be warm now. Is it hot or is it warm? It's warm. Please let it be warm and not too hot. All right, so our water goes in. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to put this on medium speed on our food processor and let it mix. All right guys, so this is my dough. It is well mixed. It looks like dough, so I hope it's done right. So what I'm going to do is actually just pop this down on my cart really quickly, because I'm just going to use this to oil and let my dough sit to rise a little bit instead of me dirtying up a new bowl. So I'm just gonna knead this a little bit too, though, because there's still some flour that needs to be mixed in from the bottom. I'm really excited now that I see it and it actually looks like dough. I'm pretty excited. Pizza dough ball. Okay, you put this in. Cover this up and we're gonna let this sit for an hour. While that is sitting, we're going to start on the toppings for our pizza. We're going to do some caramelized onions and get those going, and then we're also going to what's we're gonna do? Chop up some Brussels sprouts as we're gonna put that on top as well. So let's meet me over there at my stove. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get started on our caramelized onions. So let me go ahead and start my stovetop. And to my pan, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. And this is what we're going to use to caramelize our onions. And I've already chopped up my onions. So in this bowl here, I have chopped up 3 sweet onions. The recipe calls for 2 medium size, but the ones that I had were relatively small, so I did 3 total. So that's what I'm going to use for me. So let me get a spatula or something to work with. Alrighty. So we have our spatula. Just gonna melt our butter nice and slowly. Well, not nice and slowly, however long it takes for the butter to melt. In the meantime, I do have some Brussels sprouts that we're going to work on while our onions are caramelizing, because it does take 10 minutes for our onions to caramelize. This is a pound of Brussels sprouts, and the stems need to be removed, and they need to be sliced fairly thin. So I sharpened my knife, and so we're gonna try to slice some Brussels sprouts. So it should go fairly well for us. I don't know. Hope you guys are in the holiday spirit and doing well. I just hope you guys are safe too. Regardless of how you're celebrating the holidays, just make sure your mental health is good, your physical health is good, all of that good stuff. So our butter is actually melting pretty good. I love the smell of butter. I'm telling you, no smell like it. All right, there's our butter. And we're going to add our onions. All of those are going in. And I want to do a lot of onions too, because onions shrivel down a lot once you caramelize them. And to this, we're going to add a generous amount of salt. It's seriously a generous amount of salt. Probably a little too much salt. But, and that's it. And we're just gonna let these babies cook on medium-high heat and get some good color to them. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and chop up some Brussels sprouts. All right, so I just remembered that I forgot to take out my Italian sausage, because I was going to do that first before I did my onions, so that my onions could cook in that fat. That's okay, not a huge loss. I'm gonna start off with half of the pack of Brussels, just because, you know, we don't despise Brussels, but we're not like in love with them. So I'm just gonna start with half, long story short. All right, went ahead and wash those off. And so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead, let me zoom you guys in. Not out, Gabby, in. We're going to take off the stem. And then we're going to just slice these as soon as my knife can possibly get them. So I like to cut the stem off, cut them in half, lay them down, and then just start, you know, trying to thinly slice them like this. I may have to go through and give them a rough chop too, just to make sure everything is good. Alright guys, so our onions are done, and what I'm going to do to the same pan, add just a little bit of olive oil, turn my heat back on, and we're going to go ahead and brown our mild Italian sausage. The recipe doesn't call for this, but I'm going to add it because I think the flavor contrast with the Brussels and the caramelized onions is going to be delicious. So we're just gonna go ahead, oh, splatter that. We're just gonna go ahead and add this in. Alexa, how much time on timer?
You have 36 minutes left on your 1 hour timer.
All right, we have 36 minutes left on our dough to rise. So in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and get this browned. It shouldn't take long though. Shouldn't take long at all. I know you guys can probably see all the massive Brussels sprouts over here. That's all good. And I'm glad I only did the half a pack of Brussels sprouts. Once I roll the dough out, determine the diameter of the dough, that'll let me know if I need to cut up some more Brussels sprouts or not. But for right now, I'm pretty satisfied with half a pack. All right, beautiful people, our Italian sausage is now done and it's beautifully browned. And one of the things I was thinking about while I was doing this was that, oh, we need some cheese to go on our pizza. So I'm gonna scoot you guys over and we're going to start shredding some cheese. So I have Parmesan cheese here. Luckily, I was smart enough to buy the pre-shredded Parmesan cheese, but we also need some white cheddar cheese. And this is the brand that I went for my white cheddar cheese. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with shredding the block of that. I think that's what I need. Yeah, because I need a full cup of this. So all right, guys, to say shredding cheese is my favorite is definitely a false statement. I just needed a cup of white shredded cheese, and I have a heaping cup here. So I still have half of my block left. So I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator so we can use that for another time. I may actually end up shredding some more cheese, especially if that's not enough, because it doesn't look like a lot of cheese, but we're gonna follow the recipe hopefully. So everything's done. What we need to do now is just wait for our bread. So I'll be back. All right, so this is why reading a recipe is very important. So I just reread the recipe and I actually need to cook these Brussels a little bit with some garlic, salt and pepper. For some reason I was thinking I was gonna put the Brussels on there just raw, which I'm glad I'm not. I'm glad the recipe said to cook them. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. This is my Italian sausage here. Put that to the side. Let me grab some salt and pepper. Actually, I think I used a little too much salt already. And those onions. So I'm not gonna add salt. So we're gonna add our Brussels to this. Should be good. And then let me get some garlic. All right, I'm not gonna chop up garlic. I'm going to use the garlic in the jar. So, just gonna go ahead and put a good tablespoon in there. Just gonna let this cook. Cook for about 5 minutes until the Brussels get bright in color. I don't think there was enough fat from the Italian sausage. So I'm gonna drizzle in a little bit of olive oil. I think this is gonna be delicious. Oh, there it is. Okay, here. add a little bit of salt. I'm not gonna go overboard like I did with the onions. Smells really good. All right, guys, so our dough is ready. It definitely has puffed up for, it actually smells pretty decent. So I cleaned my surface here. I need to lay some flour down. Yeah, we're just trying to keep this as gluten-free as possible. So, I wonder if I should have used a silicone mat. Didn't think of that. Probably should have. I'm going to put some gloves on. And then we're gonna go ahead and roll this dough out. Get some flour in my hand so I can flour our rolling pin best as I can. There we go. Punch it down. Get this out. Do have my pizza pan here. I put some parchment paper over it. Not that I needed to, but I just wanted to, I don't know, I just wanted to, essentially. The recipe does say that this makes 2 separate crusts, but I'm just gonna make one. Oh, I think this is gonna break when I pull it out. All right, I think since I want to make a crust, I'm gonna try to fold in. You guys will see in a minute. I'm gonna try to fold in the ends. It's cold up here. Dang, I should have did this on parchment paper. There's no way I'm gonna move this. I don't have a pizza peel. I have a spatula though. Yeah, you may have to help me before you go. Yeah, I should have did this on parchment paper.
Is it sticky?
No, but it's so fragile that I know it probably won't be good. In the meantime, let me go ahead and preheat my oven to 450. All right, so now we need to move this pizza.
Alexa, off.
All right, now we need to move this pizza to our pizza. It's a pizza pan, but I'm just gonna put parchment paper down for easy cleanup. We gotta figure out how we're gonna move this pizza.
Trust your instincts, guys. I knew all along that I should have used a silicone mat or at least parchment paper to put this dough on. One thing to consider is that gluten dough is not as elastic, I should say, excuse me, as regular flour gluten dough. So therefore, it's not going to be as agile. And so I should have took that into consideration. Girl, I'm using spatulas. My husband's tried to come over here. We tried to slide the parchment paper up under the pizza. Ultimately, we realized that this dough was just too delicate, and that I just had to just realize that it was not going to work, unfortunately. But we tried.
Yeah, let me do that. Let me just do it over. I had it perfect too. It's okay.
I know.
It's alright. Alright, redo, guys.
Put some flour on here.
No, you're gonna, I'm gonna do it on the parchment paper.
That's what I'm saying. Put flour
Yeah.
on paper.
Yeah.
So
You can put the parchment paper down here. Please. Thank you, sir. Take 2. Alright, let's do this. Let me try to knead this dough a little bit. Now that I reread the recipe, it did say to knead it a little bit. But since I've already rolled it out, that's probably enough kneading. So. Alright, take 2.
One of the funnest things about being in the kitchen is that you have to be comfortable. Not really comfortable, but just be comfortable with making mistakes and learning from those. This dough, I'm so glad I pushed through with it and made it because it was beautiful at the end.
All right, guys. Here we go. And what I'm going to do, ooh, that's going to be thick. Roll it out just a little bit more. Definitely over the parchment paper. Okay. All right, that's pretty good. So now we're going to go in and fold the edges like we did. Fold, fold, fold. Just folding it in just so we can have a defined crust. Guys, the hard work was well worth it. Here's our pizza. What I'm going to do, brush it with some actually spray it with some olive oil, par bake, like a pre-bake, take it out, and then we're gonna add our topping. All right, guys, so the recipe said to bake the pizza crust pre-baked for 5 to 7 minutes. So I did the full 7 minutes, and this is what it came out looking like. So it definitely is starting to cook. So we're gonna go ahead. Actually, I'm gonna see what the bottom is starting to look like, because I may want to take this parchment paper off. Yeah, we'll see as we keep going. The recipe that I'm using does not call for sauce, which is beyond me. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of tomato sauce at the base. I'll zoom you guys in. We're gonna add a little bit of tomato sauce to this, just a little bit, and then we're gonna start layering our pizza. I don't want to like re-soak the whole entire pizza crust. It's just been like par baking, so we're not gonna put a lot. All right, that should be good for our pizza sauce, right? All right, that's our pizza sauce. So let's start layering this. I'm gonna do some white cheddar cheese that we just shredded up and put that at the bottom, about half of that. Today when I was at the grocery store, I found this blend of cheese at Walmart, and so we're gonna give a little heat to it, the hot jalapeno and Havarti Jack, or habanero, that's what it's called, not Havarti, habanero. So we're gonna add that. A little bit of that to it as well, because that stuff is spicy. All right, so we got our cheese, we got that. Let's do a little bit of, would help if I had this stuff over here. Do a little bit of Parmesan. And then we're gonna go ahead and add our Italian sausage to it. May not need all of this Italian sausage, but we're gonna add whatever our heart desires. And then what we're gonna do is take our caramelized onions and spread these on here. All right, there we go. That's on there, and then we're gonna go ahead and hit it with the rest of our white cheddar cheese. right, one of the things that I'm gonna do that I didn't necessarily call for, but I'm gonna add some seasonings to this. All right, so I'm gonna go in with a little bit of onion powder. We already have all those onions on there, but I just wanna go in with a little bit of onion powder. We're gonna go in with some parsley. Excuse me, that was basil. This is the parsley. And then we're gonna add just a little bit of oregano. All right. This is our pizza, guys, and we're gonna go back in the oven. This is the pizza with the toppings on it. So you guys will see it once it comes out. Y'all, I thought I was recording. I forgot the darn Brussels sprouts. I don't even know how I forgot to put that on top of here. So I forgot. I just spread all of the Brussels sprouts on there. Thought I was recording, but I wasn't. So now what we're gonna do is add some white cheese, sharp cheddar cheese on top of it, just so that it's another cheesy layer on top of, that's the last layer for the pizza. This is messy, boy. I'm glad I was going to go clean up and I seen this and I was like, holy moly. Perfect. I'm gonna add all this cheese because I already have a lot of cheese on here. Y'all, I cannot believe I did that. I worked hard on those Brussels sprouts. And I almost forgot them. Luckily the pizza was only in the oven for like a minute, literally a minute. So, all right. Perfect. You know what? Since there's just a little bit left, I might as well just go ahead and shred it, right? Oh, Gabby. It's late, y'all. It is late. If anything, this pizza better taste good. For real. Everything's cooked. Oh shoot. Everything's cooked. The cheese just needs to melt. Sprinkle the Parmesan. For real this time, we're going in the oven.
We have the Brussels sprouts.
Yes. Forgot all about it.
It's a big pizza.
Now this is what our pizza looks like before the oven. Alright guys, so our pizza is out. Don't worry, the pan is no longer hot so I can actually touch it. And it is looking amazing. Up close shot so you guys can see it's already starting to cool, which is good. It smells amazing. Look at the crust. I actually did about 5 minutes off of the pan and just on the rack because I wanted to get the crust as brown as possible. I think it helped out a little bit. Was it necessary? Not really, but it is what it is. So we're gonna go ahead and get this bad boy cut. We're gonna try it out. Alrighty, I actually have a pizza cutter somewhere, but it's okay. I may actually need to get my pizza cutter. Yeah, let me get my pizza cutter, wherever it is. Oh, I thought it wasn't cutting. Alrighty. Look at that pizza, guys. Look, delicious. Alright, we're gonna give this a taste so you guys can see. Hopefully it shows up pretty good. It's probably very hot. Y'all, I did that. Babe, you gotta try it. This is so good. Not capping. This is so freaking good. Oh my goodness. Here comes my husband. I'm gonna let him taste it for you guys so you guys don't think I'm biased. Like, I don't want a fake reaction, like, seriously.
That's good. For real.
This is really good.
Nice crust on the bottom too.
Yeah, this is it's a gluten-free crust.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Tastes like a piece of crust, right?
I just doing that.
Yeah, I'm gonna serve this up, but
7.
thank you guys. I'm gonna show you guys first before I end this. I'm gonna show you guys what the pizza looks like, but thank you guys so much for rocking with me as I make a quick and easy Friday night dinner, which is pizza, which is so delicious. You can taste every flavor complexity in this, from the caramelized onions to the Brussels sprouts. The sausage makes it. It is so delicious. It's all gluten-free. So definitely let me know if you give it a try. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.